been a real good day for us here at App Stupid. We talked to some Colorado Buffaloes. First game against South Dakota State. Shador, he did his thing, 400 plus yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground. Why we think the defense really needs to improve really quick going into Lincoln to take on the Cornhuskers. We'll talk some of that game on Monday. Then we talked about 5 NFL players that need a breakout season because not only does their money depend on it, but their livelihood. We had a new segment called You Buying, Selling. What do you think is going to be pretty much the game and how it shakes out? This is talking about the games this weekend where we have Georgia v. Clemson, Miami v. Florida, Texas A&M v. Notre Dame, and the LSU Tigers versus the USC Trojans. So go back, check that out. Let us know, did we get something wrong in that? And then this is bringing us to our final spot, which I'm not going to hold you, not going to bury the lead, just going to go ahead and give it to you. Netflix, this is the worst documentary ever involving the whole Connor Stallions thing. Now, it's sad that you couldn't get any objective information or any pushback watching this documentary until the 53 minutes and 20-second mark of watching this. And when I say objective information, that's just point blank asking him, why were you doing this? Because he's denied it, but he hasn't. And when you go back and you read the NCAA investigation, not only was Harbough under investigation, also Sharon Moore was under investigation as well. And to quote the report, they call them repeat offenders. We had violations of recruiting in the dead period during the C-19 era. Then you turn around and you couple that with sign stealing. And I just felt like they left a lot on the table. They left a lot on the table. They should have been asking, why was Jim Harbaugh's team trying to negotiate? And we broke that story. They were trying to negotiate an immunity deal for Jim Harbaugh to stay coach in Ann Arbor. However, because of the show clause that was added to every college football player's college football coach's contract, what that means is that you don't necessarily need to be stealing the signs. The fact that you have somebody on staff that's doing that, whether you know it or not, that show cause for termination. And that was a thing. And I feel like they never addressed that. And they never posed that question to him at all. It's almost like they paid him to sit there and baffle you with bullshit. And then when that didn't work, they put on their other compromised individuals like Rich Neuheisel and other pro-Michigan people to mislead the conversation. I felt like that was a missed opportunity to really educate the public because not a lot of people are deep diving sports fans. People still have this, I want to say, naivete look on sports and, oh, this is how I remember the game when I grew up, but I'm not really a close follower. These are normie people. Normie people watch Netflix. Some people love the documentary series because it gives you more information about a situation that was happening in real time. This did none of that. This was pretty much the worst documentary that I saw, where there are more questions than answers. And then when you have a situation where you're showing the tapes of him testifying in front of the NCAA, his lawyers are talking about, oh, his emails were hacked. Okay, what was on those emails? Well, we don't know. It's just somebody who's an Ohio State fan. Really? Really? Give me a quick 20 and we'll be back with a quick word from an unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Big Burn. Drop it. Yeah, Subway. Eat fresh, refresh. Order online, download the app, or visit your good folks at your local Subway. Subway. Eat fresh, refresh. So, when we last left off, we were talking about the ridiculousness of Netflix and not wanting to ask a real question after you've already paid this guy for the interview. So I think you can ask him anything that he wants. Now, one thing I will say is that Jim Harbaugh has done a great job hiring people that won't turn on him. That dude has a loyalty like I've never seen, to where here it is, these people are still not talking about what went on, who was involved, what he knew, and when he knew it. Also, you could throw in there that he was obstructing justice by not turning in information, by not getting back with the NCAA, which made things even more contentious. He was suspended by not only the Big Ten, but also the NCAA. And the minute that Connor wanted to go ahead and throw himself on the sword, Michigan had already terminated his quote unquote employment. So let me get this straight. You don't make the same money as everybody on the staff, but you're buying seats at other games. Your friends are using those seats in other parts of the country. They're videotaping the games and then they're sending them to you. And that doesn't raise a red flag. I understand why you did it, because you still wanted to get the clicks and the views, and you still want people to kind of tune in so you can see the streaming numbers. But at some point, this was just bad faith all the way around. And some people don't even know half the things I'm talking about when it pertains to Michigan. I haven't said anything that's not public knowledge, but the fact that you have normies who don't really follow this like we do here at App Stupid, because we got the most awesomest sports people ever. But still, we gotta be real about this. Why would I invite you to sit down and not answer questions, dodge everything, give me what you want to give me? I don't give a damn you've been in the military. If you've been in the military, you got to know, you got to tell the truth. What's that? Captain America used to say, truth, justice, and the American way. Come on now. So your military service, I respect everybody who served for this country. And I'm not casting a negative light or negative connotation on anybody who served in the armed forces. I have family who has served in the armed forces. I respect and love all of the veterans. I think they get used and they get exploited like no tomorrow, but that's neither here nor there. You tried to make this guy likable. How could he do this? His mom and that's not the question. The question is, why were you stealing signs? Why were you buying tickets to games you couldn't go to, sending your friends to go there, videotaping everything and sending it? The people on, shout out to Reddit, because I don't know why people think that Reddit is the worst thing ever. I personally can't follow some of the chains and things like that. However, when I do sit down and look at it, it is very informative. And you had people on the ground in Reddit asking the questions, why is this guy sitting here videotaping games? And everything they started to say, hey, look, this is going on. This is going on. Now people started to pay attention, and that's why we got to where we are. But Connor here, the clown show, he cared about the university more than he cared about the fans, the integrity of the game. Because his dream was to be a coach at the University of Michigan. And so you have to understand, if that is his dream, you're not going to get him to ever roll on the only man to give him a shot of obtaining that dream. He gave him what he wanted to be, and all he had to do was capitulate, play outside the lines, keep his mouth shut. Now you're seeing it in real time. Netflix, you just got to do better. Well, that's the show. Well, that's the show. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. We love each and every one of you all. Be safe. Enjoy your weekend. And we will see you here on a bright and early Monday. This is your boy,